Okay, today's my English chat for TOEFL 2019 September 11th, and today I practiced integrated writing again, and it was great. I think, yeah, I couldn't answer and understand completely, and it wasn't enough, but I think I could answer well and better than I thought, because as for reading part, it was a little bit difficult for me to understand and read it, hold the sentence and passage in time. And one of the reason is it was a little bit historical thing, and the person mentioned in the passage was I didn't even know the person at all, so it was difficult for me to imagine what he did, why he is criticized, or what is the main topic about the passage. It was difficult. It took a little bit time for me to understand. But even if I don't have time, I have some strategy, tactics. When you have time, it's important to read this first and the last sentence of the paragraph. You don't have to. I think I don't have to. If I don't have time, I don't have to read the whole passages. I only have to read the first and the last passage, because they always have a first introduction and conclusion of each of if the passage is well constructed or well made. So this time, at the third part of the third paragraph of the passage, one of the supports, I had no time. I have only 1 minutes or 30 seconds, so I couldn't read all the passage. So I switched and I just changed my reading pattern and only read the first and the last part of the sentence, and it was still enough for me to understand. Even if the content is partially, it was enough for me to understand. And after the listening part, it was also difficult for me to understand. But some of the reading part, some of the contents I heard from the listening part, I could complement. Made up the content. So I could understand what the reading passage said and what the listening passage is. It was a good complement. And yeah, some of the parts are still missing and I couldn't understand, but still it was not enough, but still it was a little bit enough for me to write down, and I could finally I was able to write my answering. I could answer with what I wrote down in the listening part. Yeah, it was not enough, but it was I was able to do it, and it was great. Yeah, but whenever I try to integrate writing, it's very difficult. You have to listen to the reading. You have to read. You have to understand the reading passage, and you have to listen the listening part carefully. Yeah. But as for reading part, you don't have to understand the whole, because even while writing, you can read the reading passage. But as for listening part, you can only listen one time, so that's very difficult, like I said yesterday. Yep. But anyway, to the point, in short, what I would say is it was a good practice for me. Yeah. And today I studied, I learned I checked some history, especially the Asian history. There's a lot of problem around the Asian, including China and North Korea, South Korea, and Japan. There are a lot of historic and politics and government international problem among these countries, especially, of course, nowadays in recent. Yeah, as for Hong Kong, as for Taiwan, as for like tariffs and Chinese, there are a lot of historical and including historical, and now there has modern and contemporary issues and problems, and there's still now still it's very has a very problem, and it's still continuing now. So I thought it's very difficult for me to understand. So I'm not very I don't know about history well, but I thought it was a good chance or opportunity to understand, comprehend those histories. And that's all so much for today. Thank you for watching.